to the 100% to match that target audience.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm down with that.
We'll be talking about that, but in a nutshell, we are no longer going to be trying to serve make a ton of money. I think we've had enough case study information, like the $1 million funnel, the capture pages that make 10K a month. And if you've seen the language of what Dave has been talking about, it's not trying to target the person who's completely broke, even though he started completely broke.
Exactly.
I think the journey that person takes is so far that we would give them daily shortcut. We would give them our blog posts. We would give them our organic social media stuff. That's not a person we're going to try to attract into our business, but, be educated with the stuff that we have, the free stuff. And that was a decision that we did by cutting off the trial. Like, we are moving away from the trial. Now, I think the trial link still worked, the $7 trial link, but they removed it and really just get that, lottery mentality. Let me make 10K a month paying $7 one time kind of thing away from it. And when Empower started, it wasn't like that anyways. It was $25 flat.
Right.
So retention should go up. Upsells should go up. I have a really cool case study and some of the stuff that we be going on. But we're recorded. Let me go ahead and meet everybody out. If you have questions, go ahead and write it down for your own, and then we'll bring you out. Maybe I'll ask Leslie to kind of monitor that, but I'll mute all. So we're recording. Hey, Lawrence Sam, thanks for dropping in on our conversation. This is the real mastermind, talking about target audience. How do we match what we provide here in Empower, and how do we solve that? I'll talk about, some of the conversations I've had with other mastermind people in the 8FM. But welcome back. I think some of you just got back from Atlanta. I got back from Atlanta yesterday. Fantastic time. I just love hanging out with you guys. I think you guys are awesome. It's pretty cool that I get to work with people who aspire to be more, who want to grow and be the best person that they can be, who understand self-development, right? Versus, my past career as engineering, where people complain about work hours. People complain about not having enough money because their boss wouldn't give them a raise. Like, here, you give yourself a raise, right? And if you saw the Next Level Mastermind yesterday, I believe that's recorded pretty soon in the back office for the Next Level Mastermind. But if you I watched it live. He was just talking about really core understanding what is your dollar per hour worth, right? Now, but I want to throw a little asterisk in there. I do not want you to outsource anything until you know how to do it. So I talked to some of you guys. You're like, I want to outsource everything. I'm like, no, you can't outsource anything until you know how to do it, right? It's learn, do it, then teach. You can't teach your outsourcer if you don't know how to do it and you've never done it before, right? Now, I know Brian's in the airport right now. Is that correct? If Brian's in the airport, I would love for him to give a shout out to his team. Because, a lot of us are all over the world. Hence, Brian, I don't think he's on this side of the world. But go ahead, Brian. I'll let you have the floor.
Yeah, thanks for letting me out. I am in the Singapore airport right now. You can see that it is daytime. It's morning time over here. Hello to all the new members. I talked to a few of you guys and put you on here. So we do have a couple of brand new people on. I just got here a few hours, maybe an hour ago or so. Sandy's picking some things out. We're figuring out exactly how to get to the Marina Bay Sands Hotel, or Marina Sands Bay Hotel, something like that. It's got like the coolest, best infinity pool in the world, because tomorrow is Sandy's birthday. And so that is actually, I was talking to somebody, and it's kind of funny. She saw that picture on social media, and she's like, I want to celebrate my birthday in that pool. I'm like, all right, let's go. Next thing I know, I'm like, all right, well, we're going to go from Singapore to Thailand, over to Indonesia, bounce around from Bali and a couple other places, and then go see Cambodia. And I'm like, this is like 3 months or 4 months worth of stuff going on, all because she saw a picture on social media and wanted to go to a pool. So that's kind of funny. But, again, guys, if y'all are watching this, is the first time seeing this, it's the information, that Lawrence is sharing. It's this community of the 8-Figure Mastermind. It's being around some people that can help me learn things and be there for you as a community while you're growing. That's really what's made it all possible for me. So again, Lawrence, I appreciate you, brother.
I think that's awesome, dude. Traveling the world, starting early. You're going to be gone for what, 2 months, 3 months? How long are you going to be gone?
Yeah, 2, 3, 4. I don't really have a way out of here right now. I just have, I got all of Singapore planned and booked for the next 6 days, and then over to Thailand, and none of that's booked other than the flight. So everything's just kind of, flying, we're figuring it out as we go. That's the way that works.
That is awesome, bro. That is awesome. So if you want to pop out anytime, let me know. we'll keep it short and keep it concise. That is awesome. I don't know how else to explain it. Dude is living the life. Sandy, happy birthday to you if you're watching this recording. But man, saw something on Facebook and go, I want to do that. I think I should. I mean, the average, I don't know about overseas, but American who wants something, they dream about it, right? And then, those dreams get crushed because they can't afford it, or it just doesn't make sense, traveling the world and you have to go to a job. But Brian had one of his best years, if not the best year ever last year, and traveling to, I believe, 19 different countries. So if you're brand new to this, I mean, the cool thing that we do is we want to, even if you're not at the stage where you want to be, we're at all different levels, right? Experience levels, income levels, whatever, different levels. But if we can kind of see some of the possibilities of what we do, it's mind-blowing to notice that Brian's been able to do some really, really awesome things. So I think it's awesome. He should travel the world, let me travel through his eyes, and hopefully I'll meet with him sometime in the future. I told him I've never been to Japan. I've never been to Taiwan, and I am going to those in the next 2 years. And if we can meet up there, definitely want to do that. But we'll be meeting the Europe group probably third quarter of 2017. So if you're in Europe watching this, we will be visiting you probably in September. We'll be doing a workshop like we did last year for the Romania, Transylvania workshop. So, but fantastic with that. So I'm going to post a link in the group. If anyone else is doing expert roundup stuff, basically you want to get exposure to your audience and you want to build an audience. So if you're going to notice, Empower is on its focus on helping people genuinely develop a skill set, like a real skill set. So one way to do that is actually be doing stuff, right? So one opportunity I have for you guys, I've done this in the past. I believe Leslie has one too. Leslie has something called an expert roundup. Guys, if you have 20 minutes, right? I have a question, right? It's like on a topic, like what are the best tools or whatever. And then just give me 20 minutes, write it out, give me a photo, or give me your Facebook link, I think is all I need. But if you comment on it on Facebook, I can definitely pull your photo. And then at least you're getting exposure out there on the internet on my own blog. Now, Leslie's doing the same thing. And this is something I've taught in the Momentum course, how to build content without actually writing anything. And so if you just did this a couple times, you'll be able to have other people who want to write on your blog because, they always say like, as seen on Forbes, as seen on Huffington Post. Well, they all started somewhere, right? You got to be on different publications. And expert roundups are the easiest ways to get backlinks from like a variety of different domains. So even if you're not doing SEO, if anything, it's a good place to start producing content on third-party sites. So if you were at my Atlanta presentation on syndication, you got to be building content on third-party sites, which are not the sites you own. So my site, right on my site. Huffington Post, right on Huffington Post site. LinkedIn articles, right on LinkedIn articles, right? You see what I'm saying? But the commitment to having to write on the Leslie's or mine is maybe 15, 20 minutes max. Give us that, get that process in, because it all comes down to how all of this, what we're doing in Empower and in 8FM is going to align. And so it's pretty simple, okay? So we came up in our leadership group, we came up with this plan. Like we want to be able to have a plan where everyone can succeed at it as long as there's a plan of action for it, right? So it's the 10-1-90, all right? So if you write that down, if you haven't seen this on Facebook yet, it's leaking out there. It is definitely going to be the plan. You'll be seeing this over and over and over and over and over again. 10-1-90, 10 leads, 1 sale per day, so that in 90 days, you've made your first 10K in Empower, right? Now, however long it takes you to do that, it might take you 6 months to do that. It might take you next week. I don't know. Depends on what scale you're at. Now, this defines a couple skills that we will need. And if you were at the Atlanta or saw the live stream, you'll understand what that means. And we'll break it down. But the target we're looking for is 10 leads a day, not spam leads, not buying junk paid traffic, not any of that. Like good, warmed leads, 10 leads a day should generate 1 sale. And if you do that in a 90-day time frame, you should make at least $10,000 in that time frame. Now, it might be in a month, it might be in 3 months, I don't know. But we came down all together and kind of saw this and go. So I did coaching on Sunday. I did coaching for 6.5 hours straight with 11 people. And from that data, it was mind blowing. 80% of the people I saw could not generate a lead in 24 hours if I told them you have to generate this lead or you fail, right? They're just like, most of them, their go-to traffic was Facebook. But when I was grilling them on kind of what they did to generate that lead, it's not a true skill set, right? A true skill set would someone hire you 10, 20, 30 bucks an hour to do whatever that thing is? And I don't think so. And so we started discussing, I was like, okay, what is the real issue we have is not having a process to bringing people to learning real skills that then directly make them money. So an example, Brian Couch. The reason Brian Couch makes a good amount of money is because he understands this skill set of traffic and leads. Because he gets consistent traffic every day, because he gets consistent leads every day, he makes money every day, even though he's not like working it, or maybe he's in a pool, or maybe he's reading his book in the Dead Sea, or maybe he's in Singapore. Does not matter. Now, I think what happened was we kind of assumed people just knew how to go through a product, knew how to implement what was in the product, and then they would just do it and then make money, right? Now, 99% of the internet assumes this. They're assuming if you buy a product, you'll go through it and you'll digest information and then you'll do it, and then you'll have a feedback loop on finding out if you did it right, and if you did it, you'll tweak it and you do it again. We found more and more people, basically the people who are newer or those who just didn't have a lot of time to build the business, they were stuck in this like infinite loop, like an infinite loop that did not produce money because they really lacked one really good skill in audience building. Like they didn't have the ability to really get a lot of leads or have a lot of people see content. Because what happens is they'll do the daily shortcut and they'll tell us, hey, Dave or Lawrence, we're doing the daily shortcut every day, but I'm not making money. But the issue is, since they're not growing their sphere of influence and only their mom and their best friend is watching this daily shortcut and they've already seen it and they're like, no, Empower's not really for us, but congratulations, I'm not ready for you. But that's the only audience that they're actually advertising a value-based business at an Empower Network. And since they're not growing the business because they don't know how to do paid traffic, they don't know how to do organic SEO, they don't know how to do any of these things, even though they bought it inside the Six Figure Builder, even though they bought it in Momentum or VIP. So we're like, okay, let's just stop. Let's reinforce some of these products. Let's fill the gaps. But you'll notice yesterday, after the Next Level Mastermind, Tracy came on for like an hour, was doing straight affiliate training. And the first step, everyone here, now we're going to have to find a way to gamify this, not until Empower solidifies what it is. I think as a group in 8FM, we should figure out these steps, okay? So step number one. If you cannot build an audience, you should not worry about leads, and you should not worry about sales, right? Now, in a traditional network marketing company, that doesn't really mean anything because you just talk to your friends and family. That's your audience. Now, if you want to do that, you can make money here. That's fantastic. But I want to make sure you guys have the opportunity to make money without having to budget for it. Yes, John, you have a question?
Spokane Valley, Washington.
There you go. I needed you twice, John. You kept coming out. I don't know if you had a question. If you have a question, that's cool too. So we need to get a place where maybe it's internal for 8FM and maybe we'll then align it with Empower, whatever they call it. But I say if you cannot build an audience, and we'll define this, we're going to hammer this in Empower, and I think we should run with what Empower is doing. Even though we're probably one of the most successful teams ever in Empower, I think it would help myself and everyone else know where we're at, right? So if you're thinking about martial arts belts, there's a white belt and like a gray belt, and you belt up. Like you're succeeding to the next level because you've gained a understanding of a certain skill set. Well, the first skill set is audience building. How many friends, how many people kind of see your stuff? Now, not a lead, but getting people to see what you do. Now, we talked about this as a media channel, like your Facebook is a media channel. How many viewers do you have, right? What is the pool? What is the amount of your ability to reach anyone at any time by posting one thing? So like LeBron James, I think like $1 million. If you give him $1 million, he'll post a tweet about anything you want, basically, right? Well, certainly, but basically advertising whatever you want to do, because he has so many people who watch a LeBron James. Now, we're not saying you need to be like a LeBron James, but you can be the expert in your field, right? Like I highly believe Don is going to crush it in the dog niche, right? Because his little corgi is killing it on Instagram. So he's building this audience. Now, has he made 100,000 with that funnel? No, but he's already mastered the skill of building an audience directly in that niche. Now, how valuable is that? What if there's like a veterinarian in his town that's like, Don, I see that your corgi has 25,000 followers. It literally has more followers than our senator. I would love to post an ad for our clinic on your Instagram ad, right? On your Instagram account, and I'll pay you $400. Because he's built this value. So number one, I want everyone to be able to have the skill set of building an audience. Now, if you already know how to build an audience, you're basically exempt. But I would highly recommend you teach your clients and your team how to build audiences. I'm going to restrict all trainings to me. If anyone asks me a question and they're like, Lawrence, how do you build this capture page? Or Lawrence, how do you get that piece of traffic? I'm going to ask them, can you get, right, an audience, and is it growing? And I'm just going to ask you, you've been in here in a month. How many friends did you start with? How many friends do you have now? And what are you averaging per photo or per status update? Is it going up? And are you actively growing it? Because if you tell me I don't know how to do that, I am not going to show you how to connect a capture page. Capture pages is irrelevant. Autoresponders are irrelevant in the early stages of building your business. Now, we don't teach paid traffic, and I think no one should ever do paid traffic unless they have six-figure builder and above and have someone working with them directly so they don't waste your money on paid traffic. It's high risk, high gain kind of thing. We want to build you a true skill set that people right now, if you went on Upwork or you went on Warrior Forums or you went to your college and were looking, maybe the Chamber of Commerce, someone would hire you for this skill set. It's the base building block of building exposure, a PR manager, someone who's a club promoter, being able to get the word out. Okay. So number one, be honest with yourself. Can you do this? Are you getting better? And do you have a clear course of action to build your audience? If not, every Tuesday after Next Level Mastermind and in the Facebook group, I'm going to get this link out. Can someone, I have it right here. Okay, direct attention. Okay, so in the chat, I have put the official Empower Networks. Everything's shifting to this one group, and we're going to be taking people through 3 phases: building an audience, getting leads, making sales. If you cannot build an audience, you will not graduate to being able to generate leads. It's pointless. You might generate 10 leads, but the goal is to generate 10 leads a day, not 10 leads once. You know what I'm saying? And some of you I want to go faster. It's like, if you can't even follow instructions to build an audience, you are going to burn through your budget trying to generate leads on Facebook. Like, you're not understanding core demographics. You're not understanding basic metrics, all of that. Like, we had someone that we were coaching spent $60,000 on paid traffic and had no autoresponder. And so we're thinking, okay, what is the problem? I think maybe we're allowing people to not be in a structured growth path. In engineering, you could not take heat transfer until you took your core calculus classes. It's a prerequisite. You had to go through this class before you took the next class, and primarily because the information is based on the other one, and having an understanding of that, you can move up. So if you do not have a core understanding of building an audience, that is your 99% goal, is to learn that. Ask questions in that. Outside of that, all leaders in here, I highly recommend you ignore everything else. If your team member's asking you, how do I do this? Like, can you build an audience? I'm like, no. Okay, then let's just square one. So the actual link inside of the Empower Network group actually touches on this. And Tracy Walker breaks that down. So I am not going to go over it again, right? But I would like to kind of stay on this subject, and let's bounce some ideas off of this, right? And so it's not always me talking, but it's the group. Like, we have different ways of building an audience. Some of our audiences are huge. Some of them are small, but they're growing. So we can definitely do that. So the main game plan is this: can you build an audience? real people that when you do something, they see it. An example, when you release a new podcast, how many people download it? When you release a new YouTube video, how many subscribers see it, like it, and watch it immediately? If you have a blog post, when you put it out there, how many people see it, are engaged with it, and so forth and so on, right? So that can go from a blog, YouTube, podcast, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Snapchat, right? Instagram, the Periscope, it goes on and on and on. Now, I don't really care where your audience is, because the first thing is build one. Then we can start really marketing down, okay, is this audience something you can bridge into Empower Network? So if you haven't built an audience yet, the biggest audiences that we convert the best for as an affiliate would be people who understand, self-development, people who understand the law of attraction, people who understand entrepreneurship, right? People who want to be their own boss, people who want to work from home, right? People who want to leave their jobs and maybe they're in an unfulfilling career, right? That was me. I was an engineer, made okay money, but I was unfulfilled. I was like, this job, is this it? And that was me, right? So I totally can speak to my avatar. Now, most engineers, just to let you know, don't go after engineers. Most engineers are so brainwashed to wanting to work for someone else. It's crazy. But the ones like myself who break off, they make new companies. They start their own stuff, right? So I wouldn't say that's a good audience, the engineering group. But if you know them, you know their pain, it works well. So I'm going to bring up Joe pretty soon. I know he has some stats on the kind of stuff that he's been doing. Joe, grab those stats you had today on Facebook. We were talking about how you were doing some engagement stuff. But this is really important, okay, guys? I know, like Caesar, I wanted to get with you, building that audience. And even if you only had 1 hour a day, it can be done just like what Tracy Walker talked about, and really move your people forward. Now, if your team member does not have the funds for better education, like the Lifestyle Academy or the IM product, the very highest product, or can't fly to Dave's, mastermind, I get it. We're not here about selling products and services. We're here about helping people win. Period. End of story. You're not going to find any other internet marketing style of business that wants you to just win instead of just making money off of your field. Like, we are, out of the 11 coaching clients, I turned down 2 to 3 people from wanting to buy a bigger product or wanting to come to Costa Rica or Puerto Rico. I go, look, I love you. We've been friends, or maybe we just met. Looking at this information that you gave me and where your business is at, I see that you don't really have a strong skill set in generating leads because you don't know how to generate an audience yet. I'm going to say your money is better spent somewhere else. So if it's my recommendation, and if I have any say, I would actually instruct you not to go to these workshops, not to go to these masterminds, not to fly out and spend your money, and instead really hunker down and save your money and just work on these XYZ things. And all of it came down to building an audience. And one of them was like, I'm gonna take out a loan. I really got this loan coming, and I'm ready to really. I'm like, just stop, just stop. Now, if you're in another company, I guarantee they're like, you know what? How much leverage do you have? It's like, how do you sleep with yourself? How do you sleep at night trying to squeeze money out of somebody? That's not what. It's results. Now, this is why we worked tirelessly as leadership. We need to make sure everyone who puts in time grows. Now, if they're, maybe not making the money they want to make, if they have an audience, if they have leads coming in, leadership, leaders like Leslie, like Ken, right? Like Michael, like Joe, can look at a funnel, can look at a process and go, well, yeah, because your email says make money all the time. That's why. You're going into the spam box because you're using a hard word that's spam coded, stuff like that. But if you don't have an audience, we can't measure and change it. So I want to bring it to Joe. Now, Joe, we were talking about some stats that you were going over and how you're building audiences. Now, Joe, if you can go ahead and bring that out.
Sure. So before I talk about my stats, you guys feel Lawrence's energy? I mean, he's got us moving forward. I'm seeing everybody engaged. I'm seeing everybody focused. And I want to give a quick shout out to one of the people I met in person at the event. Kim, I see you're here. It was so nice to meet you in person. I got so much for that interaction that we shared at the event. Thank you very much. Really nice to meet you. And Metro, the guy is much different in person than he is here on the Zoom. Super cool to meet you guys. I was real happy to spend time with you for sure. Okay, enough on the niceties. Now I'm going to get right into some work. And keeping with everybody's time focus and the fact that Lawrence is on a mission, we're all about executing, right, and building things. And so some of the stats and so forth that I've been putting together is, like, first and foremost, my own Facebook fan page, or my own Facebook page is jacked out. I always have 5,000 friends. And then what I wind up doing is I dump like 20 a day that are just people not even remotely close to wanting to be in our crowd. So it's always a constant filtering process because I want to be with all of you. Everybody that's here now, everybody's committed. People like Paul Shoemaker, he's been around, he's focused, and then he dropped off, but here he is tonight. Paul, so happy to have you back, brother. And the people that are showing up and building, but you're getting results. So the example that I was going to share today was I've been the guy that's dodged Instagram. No matter what Lawrence shared with me, I'm the old timer. I'm the guy that looks at Brian Couch and vicariously says, man, when I was his age, holy crap, I wouldn't have been through 3 marriages, because if I could fly around the world with my girlfriend, she'd never leave me, It's like, anyway, so I decided to spin back a little bit, and the 9,620 followers that I have on my one Instagram account, not my 25 or 600 Instagram accounts, but my one, is kind of a good cross-section of CrossFit, network marketing, entrepreneurs, success this, law of attraction that. And ultimately what I did today, if you saw the post on my wall, it has this picture on it. This picture was when I took a screenshot, and it said that I had 77 viewers. That was 77 viewers of my live stream that I did on Instagram this morning. And I have a new little format that I use that turned those 77 viewers into raving, engaged, promoting people. And I have 3 more than prospects now that are also friends with me on Facebook. And this time next week, I'll be surprised if we don't have 3 new members from that. So the format that I took it through was pretty simple. I woke up this morning and I said to myself, well, what did I do yesterday that I didn't do today, or what can I do today that I didn't do yesterday? And then I decided to run with it. Then I took the rapport building and some of the conversation systems that we learned in Atlanta, or that we fine-tuned in Atlanta, and I dropped them into play. Take a quick note. Here's the format. You run your Instagram live. I'm just going to presume all of you that are on here, you've got your Instagram set up and you followed Lawrence's advice. If you haven't, well, that's your own deal. So I'm not going to teach that. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to presume you've done it. So now that you've got it, go up to the live button, start your live. It's going to go right into your video chat. You don't know these people. It's different than Facebook. You only have hashtags. So that's the magic. The format is, as you start speaking, have your dog, or have your cup of coffee, some kind of icebreaker, and it's a warm-up. How's it going? Nice weather. When I have 5 people on, then I'm going to share something. How's it going? Nice weather. 5 people are not here yet. When the 5th person got on, that gave me enough time to look and to measure through their username who they might be, what they might be all about. And I had young people, I had old people, I had not people. It's Instagram. So what did I do? I looked for the one person that I could talk about. And then I made the show about that one person. And then, as I made the show about that one person, I used kind of a format that I've seen different people like Brian Couch do over the last couple of years. When he gets people that he doesn't know watching him, he'll say things like, if you're paying attention, if you're getting some value from this, give me a 1 in the comments down below. If you're learning something here and you want to learn more, give me a 7. If you could give a rat's ass if I say another thing, get out. Don't give me anything. And so just be genuine. Give them the 3 choices. So that's kind of in your mind. It's real easy to do. It's not something you can forget. And then what you would jump on is one of the people that was following was on was a Beachbody coach. And so what do you guys think I did? I lambasted her. She's there, and I said, hey, so happy you're here. I'm going to help you build your team. What are you suffering from in your Beachbody business? Of course, she said, I'm killing it. I've got a team, but I keep losing my team. Thank you. Thank you so very much for sharing that. That became 20 minutes of me saying, what do you think next? And then basically I took that person through, not top producer, because that's what she alleges she's doing, but team builder. I took her through that. And in the process, I built rapport with everybody else that was watching. And then I got halfway through, and then this girl named Rose came on, Rose the author. So then I said, now Rose, I see you're writing a book. Don't you think it would be great for you to build your own audience and to become a freelancer using the same things that this other girl can do to build her team? Boom, I shifted from one to the next, and then I shifted to the next guy who said he wanted to set up a blog and a website to make money. Thank you so very much. That's what we do. I'm so happy you're here. And then I went through that, and the call to action that I gave them was send me a message, give me your email, your phone number, and your Facebook account, or find me on Facebook and friend me. Then the rest is history. Follow up later. So that's it, Lawrence. That's what I'm going to give them in a nutshell. Some of you are here. You can do that. You know, Brian Couch, you'll be killing that. I have no doubt. You'll be on the beach, or you'll be like Nina over in Hawaii, or like me over in Hawaii, out there in the sunshine with the ocean behind them, doing an Instagram live, but using that format, giving that call to action and getting them to engage. That's it, LT, unless you want me to share something else.
No, it's good, man.
Back over.
That's good. I mean, you can't give it all. I mean, it would explode their head. You know what I mean? But that's awesome. You found out that live went live. Like, I didn't even knew that. I think it was like within the last 12 to 24 hours, most of the people did it. Just a word of warning. If you're running any kind of automation, pause it before hitting that, because I think it would give away your location. So just FYI. I don't know how to react since it is a new part of Instagram, but I do want to share one success story from our man, Mark Dayton. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I think it's pretty cool. And I think some of you guys will get a kick out of it. Okay, so check this out. So Mark Dayton, he was a team member, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. Life got in the way, right? Well, income disclaimer, if you're watching this, I don't have a way to write here, but income disclaimer, results will vary. But Mark's like, hey, I saw that Empowers, changed a lot of their stuff. All their names are changed. The front end stuff has changed. Does it still work? I'm like, yeah, I mean, you still have an account, right? So he goes, dude, this is pretty awesome. I just made up one sale off the Total Shortcut. I guess it converts well, huh? I'm like, I guess so, because you just got a sale that quickly. I go, snap, how you get a sale already? I'm at the event, so this was in Atlanta, so this is recent, Friday. If you get a VIP product, it comes from the live stream, so just buy it. So I was telling him, like, look, if you want to watch what we're doing, go ahead and buy the Momentum or buy the VIP product, which is after Momentum. Just buy it. It comes to a live stream. You can kind of see the stuff that we're doing. It's very different than maybe what you remember Empower is about, right? We start today at 6. So then he goes, hey, that person just went up to Momentum. So 1 for 1, 100% came back in, and the person who came at Total Shortcut immediately went to Momentum. I go, wait, you are 100% upgrade? Ha ha ha, WTF, you are a baller. And he goes, it's awesome, dude. I can't wait to be all in. Thanks for staying with Empower and for supporting us. Guys, that to me that's where it's at. That's where it's at. True testimonial. Guys like, I've been in Empower a little bit. People just need to know what we're about. And we're here about helping people build the three main skill sets, but building an audience, generating leads, and making sales. Now, some of you guys, I put in a special request. Dave, if you see a special email that doesn't look like a daily shortcut and Dave is reaching out to you, it really is like not one of those from Dave, but like it's like someone else writing an email. It's really Dave. Please respond to it. So when we're talking about he lightly talked about it in the live, the video with Tracy that was in the Facebook group. He lightly kind of mentioned it, but he's working with this small group, and everyone in there is qualified, right? And he's like, okay, Lawrence, which one should we accept in this small group? And I go, there was maybe half of the list was 8FM. So don't ignore it, right? Don't ignore it. And the only way you should ignore it is if you literally are like in the ocean, or maybe you're in the mountain and your internet's really bad, right? Maybe Brian. But outside of everyone else, don't ignore this email, right? I mean, if there's anything I can give you guys, it is a shortcut to working with Dave. So I'm like, hey, you gotta work with Leslie. Leslie's got really good stuff. She's working really hard. She's growing. Dawn's got really good stuff, stuff like that. Like Valerie, really good stuff. Please, if there are going to be, 10 people you're going to be working with for 30 days straight, please extend it to these 8FMers, right? So, the live stream was a success, but we don't have a link. I think we broke most of the stuff, and they're like, we can't fix it. So I wanted to be able to get you guys on the live stream for Puerto Rico, right? We're going to be there in 90 days. I highly recommend once that link does come out, go ahead and purchase it. It's going to be less than like $90, maybe $100 around there. But if you just saw what we did in Atlanta and then saw kind of like where our direction is, building audiences, generating leads, making sales. So for you, self-assessment, do you know how to engage an audience and build a new one? Do you know how to engage an audience and build? If you cannot do that, anything with lead generation, anything with sales conversion, just basically ignore it from now. Just focus on audience building. So what I would like to know is, if you are struggling with that, please get with someone, right? Even if they don't know how, 2 people who don't know how generally will work better than someone working by themselves. So, this is a family, this is a tight-knit group. Raise your hand if you are not good at building audiences, like you're like that first step. Raise your hand so you can identify someone else on this hangout who is also not good at building audiences, so y'all can work together. Now, some of you might already have an accountability partner, but go ahead and just raise your hand real quick. You don't have to, say, I don't know how to build audience. Just raise your hand, kind of take a note of the other person's name, and then after this hangout, find them on Facebook and go, hey, look, I'm also in the building the audience phase. I would like to work with you. And in that case, if both of y'all have the same question and you still can't answer it, I'll be more than happy to address it, right? But I think 2 brains are better than 1. I think 37 brains here are better than 1. You see what I'm saying? It's the mastermind, right? So if you cannot build an audience, please identify with the next person. Now, if you're already in the building audience stage, we haven't started it yet with Empower, but there's going to be a next level. And before you can get to that stage, you have to show your stats. You have to literally show you're building an audience. Like, you have to show you're growing your followers, that you're growing your Facebook fans, you're growing the amount of people seeing your pins. If you can't, they will not allow you in this class. Now, the cool thing is they're not charging for this. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you're like a paid member of Empower, most of the stuff we want to iron out, and you basically are getting all the stuff for free. We initially were going to charge bootcamp prices for this, $1,000 for a month. That's kind of a basic thing. But we were able to talk them out of it, right? Literally talk them out of it. So this stuff is on the house. So because it is, don't assume it's free. I don't need to attend it. If you don't know how to build an audience, please just focus on that. So raise your hand if you do not know. Just a quick glance again. Don't make me call people out. And if you don't know how to do it, and it's okay. It's an assessment of where you are, because I would love to be able to give you some things that you can do. So number 1, if you weren't in the, I'm going to give 1 tip, and then I'm going to pass it to Valerie so she can give a tip. Tip 1, less than 5 minutes long, okay? So Valerie will give a tip. I'll give a tip. Michael Freno will give a tip. Leslie will give a tip. So just a quick 5 minutes, and then that'll end the night, okay? So I think I got everything else. Focus on building direct. Yes, okay. So the quick tip is for just audience building, because I know Leslie can do it. I know Michael can do it. I know Valerie can do it. To just audience building. Because I know if you go into the training, you might be like, okay, I still have a couple questions, but we're going to just bombard you with building an audience to a point where everyone, 99% of the people on this hangout, unless you're brand new, should know how to build an audience. So if anyone has a question, we can be like, dude, just do this, 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 this. Okay. So I'm going to give you 1 solid tip, All right. Well, actually 2 within a 5-minute range. Okay. Ready? Number 1, we said to build an audience, not just speak to the audience you already have. Just because you have a daily shortcut and just because you have 200 friends today and you post a daily shortcut every day doesn't mean that will work. That 200 needs to turn to 400, to 800, to 1,000, to 1,500, to 3. It needs to get bigger and bigger and bigger. If you're only at 200 friends and it stays like that for 30 days, number 1, you have not built your audience. You just used your pre-existing audience. And that is one of the major issues with network marketing. You only talk to your friends and family. And when you're done with that, then what? How many people would pay to learn how to build audiences? Okay, so number 1, your audience is not the current audience. Your audience is the new targeted audience. Now, of course, with all the Tracy's goodies, targeted audience. All right. Number two, you need to be doing the happy birthday method if you have no other way to contact people. It's the simplest thing I can think of. It's a reminder and you'll never forget it. If you have 365 friends on Facebook and each of them had a different birthday, that means every day someone has a birthday. But here's the caveat. Don't wish them happy birthday. Now, this is like, I'm not talking about your mom. I get it. Just tell your mom happy birthday. But if this is like, someone over the years who came to you looking for business help, these types of people, right? And if you have 400 of these types of people that came to you over the years, this is how you engage with them to build that audience, to really connect. Do the happy birthday method, okay? What you do is you don't wish them happy birthday on the day of. You wish them happy birthday a couple of days before everyone's wishing them happy birthday. Why? They might get like 50 happy birthdays in one day, and then your message could just get lost. So you send it like 5 days before, and you go, hey, look, I know your birthday's in about 5 days. I just want to wish you happy birthday before you get swamped with happy birthdays, because I don't want to just want to let you know I think you're pretty cool. Do it by video. If you do that by video, it might take you 15 seconds. Say their name. People love, there's a song, say my name, say my name. People love it. Say their name and just say, dude, have a fantastic birthday, or hey, we haven't talked very much, but I just figured it's a one-way communication. You can't stop me from wishing you happy birthday. You know what I mean? Right? The next level would be to do a generic one on Fiverr, and there's some crazy happy birthdays on there. Crazy. That's $5, but until then, I know Microfino does a lot of custom stuff for that. Pictures work too, but just do a quick video, 10 seconds. Hey, Michael, happy birthday. I know it's like in 5 days, but I wanted to beat the rush. I think you're pretty cool, and I've been watching your profile, and I love what you post about. Cheers. Have a great day. End it. No post, no links, no I have the best business. This is none of that. Why? You're trying to be a friend first. That's it. So that's my 5 minutes. Pass it to Val. Give me a 5-minute audience building, which means increasing or engaging with the current audience. Val, you're up. Uh-oh. I'm going to unmute you. Hold on. Okay. No, you're good. You're good, Val.
All right. Can you hear? Can everybody hear me? Yes. All right. Cool. All right. So I want to throw something from what Tracy taught yesterday. And, for some of you, especially those who might be in law of attraction, that sort of area, personal development, what I did, because I'm very much niched into that, I just want to throw that out for folks so that you can apply this to whatever area. I did, because plugging in the name, plugging in that into the search bar didn't work. Not really, okay? You want to look for, and they did mention this, you really want to look for people in that field that might be, thought leaders, or and it could be Facebook pages, Facebook groups. If you're not in the group, join the group. And what I did yesterday, and this is one of the things I'm just going to suggest to you, is just, when you find the person, really, really take a look at their profile and find something that if you're going to like and comment, do it something, really from your heart. Really connect, open up your life to this person. This person might become, like, we're family here. They might become one of the most important people in your life. Seriously, family for years and years to come. And that's how I treat when I connect with people. Open up your heart, open up your life to them, so that and open up to whatever you want to say to the wisdom. So I'm getting into law of attraction stuff here. For those of you that get me on this, open up to know what to say to them. Really find something that you really, really resonate with. And when you like it, put in a very thoughtful comment. You know, I did that, and I know we're supposed to wait a few days, whatever, before we send a friend request. I did that yesterday, and I had people sending me friend requests, okay? So, and it's about the quality of what you're communicating with people and really coming from your heart, not thinking of them as a person, as a number, but these are people that could be us, our family here, you know, and that's my thought for today, because for me, that's what is most important, because we're here to really help people. And if nothing else, you'll make a really good friend. So, but that's how you're going to get the high quality engagement. I see, Mike, you're nodding your head up and down. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Yeah.
Michael will be next. Val, awesome point. It's not about trying to squeeze money out of people. So, Michael, knock it out. Free now.
Well, hello, everybody. I apologize. I still have my cough, but my voice is almost back. I feel phenomenal. Just got to get rid of the cough now. So for everybody, you know, the biggest thing, and you heard it from both of our panelists already, which are phenomenal. You have to be authentic. You know, when it comes to sharing, to have that law of attraction work for you, just please keep this in mind. Share information, inspiration, and imagination. One of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of my clients and a lot of network marketers do is they live their life online. They talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Be very careful what you share. Make sure that it's informational. Make sure that it's inspirational. And give people an imagination to kind of get a chance to get to know, like, and trust you. Because if you're authentic and you're putting out great information and you're not ambushing or puking, that's another one of the things I think I can leave you with. Just dial it down a notch, you know. You know, if a fish actually, you know, if you got a fish on the hook, don't put your pole down, jump out of the boat, and try to feed it with as much information as you possibly can, and then jump back into the boat. So many of us get so excited that we have a person of interest that we literally just jump out of the boat. And all they're doing is just taking a nibble on the hook. The hook's not set. They're just in a fact-finding way to get to know, like, and trust you. And you get so excited that you're just, you know, you haven't even had the first date and you already told them that you're in love with them. Haven't any of you girls ever been on a date with somebody and within the first 45, 50 minutes, they tell you that they're in love with you and that they want to run away and get married to you tonight in Vegas? Look at all the smiles of the women, because they've all had that one creepy guy. Don't be that creepy rep. All right? So that's what I can share with you. Just don't be the creepy rep. Don't fall in love. Don't tell them that you're in love, that, you know, that they're the greatest thing that ever happened to them. And, you know, I've been waiting my whole life for you to get involved in my business. And they don't even know the name of your company. So I think that's the easiest way to explain where my mindset is. I hope that helped.
See, guys don't get this, right? Maybe Brian Couch gets proposed a lot because, I mean, he literally used SEO to attract Sandy. And he's smiling. He used the power of the internet to land his girlfriend. Think about this. Think about Tom's laughing. He used the internet, and his voice and his call to action was so strong that Sandy was like, I want that white dude, right? I mean, that's power of persuasion. He used next level. So Leslie, now, of course, Leslie gets hit on all the time. People are always trying to, like, pry into, like, her secret sauce of how she's building her business and how she's growing her Instagram stuff. But Leslie is the ninja in high heels. She's branding herself on Facebook, right? She understands what she's doing, and she understands that if she wants to build, you know, any type of rapport as a woman, she has to, like, cut out the creepers. Like, men don't get it so much unless they're like the HK Solo chicks from the Philippines, the fake bots. But women, I guarantee it, you guys will always be getting, like, the guys hitting on you for whatever reason. Filter. But Leslie, tell us maybe in an aspect of a lady or as a high-end marketer, how does someone get a bigger audience or engage with the current audience they have now?
Okay, so I learned this over this weekend, and especially if you're new here or if you've been gone for a little while, this you need to hear. You really need to hear it from your heart. I had 2 or 3 people crying in my arms this weekend because they didn't get it until this weekend. You have value. The things that you think are so easy that nobody needs to learn, everybody knows, they don't know it. You have something that somebody else doesn't know, and it's that something that when you share it with somebody, you're going to make their day. They're just waiting for you to come into their life, to tell them that, to share that with them. And I found so many people over the weekend who had been in for a long time, who had never shared their value with anybody, hadn't found their own value. Just start sharing what you're good at. The things that come easily to you, that's your value. That's what people are praying for, right? Lawrence is a great engineer. Okay, so we go to Lawrence for an engineer. Michael has words that work. We go to Michael for words that work. Whatever is inherently easy for you, that's what somebody else doesn't know how to do. You tap into that power for yourself, and you're going to be unstoppable. You have exactly what you need already inside of you. Just let it come out. Just be really you. That's what I learned this week. There were so many people teaching me that message this weekend. Back to you, Lawrence.
Awesome. Thank you, Leslie. So before I pull out Ken, anyone want to share maybe a breakthrough? Because I think that's important, what Leslie was touching on. Anyone else want to just share that real quick before I bring out Ken? Yeah, Michael.
All right. And don't think just because, don't think you have to be new in the business and to have a breakthrough. I've been in the industry for many, many years, and I had a breakthrough. I had a huge breakthrough. One of the things that's talked about a lot from stage is that once you make it big and you hit some significant goals in your life, a lot of times you're empty at the end. And in a matter of days, that goal that took you so many years to accomplish, it kind of wears out real quick, no matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's a 7,500 square foot house or traveling the world, finishing off your life list. I know a lot of you probably have a bucket list. I call it a life list. But I was one of those people. And for probably since the moment that I got into Empower, I have not, and I know it's going to blow a lot of your minds, I have not set a personal financial goal with Empower, because the only reason that I didn't is because the reason why was the only goal that I had financial was a legacy goal that I wanted my father to see before he passed. And once he passed, I lost it. What are you gonna prove to somebody who's no longer on the planet? What was there to do? So that was one of my, I worked with Will and David for several hours on this behind the scenes. I mean, consistently, and it was great. So, if you didn't have a breakthrough this weekend, it's okay. Your time is due. It will come. It took me. It's taken me almost 2.5 years to have since I've had the last one. So believe me, when they come in a huge, at the most opportune time. So don't think that you got involved in something this weekend and you felt like you didn't have a breakthrough, because I believe that the man upstairs, or the universe, or the female that's up there, whatever you believe in, don't want to get into that, but I believe that the guy upstairs always answers the question that you're asking. It's either yes, maybe, or I have something better. And you may have to just stick around long enough to figure out what that was. And I really had that this weekend. So just know that doesn't matter what level you're at in this business. It doesn't matter if you've made $10,000 a month or if you've made $105,000 in a month. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be steps that you're going to grow through. You're always going to have to come through challenges. So I just wanted to share that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's big. You can't have a breakthrough if you don't participate in your own success story, right? So I'm gonna bring out Ken. Come on, Ken. You said you had a tip. Let's lay it on. You were on the live stream. I know it.
I do. I was all over that, man. That was like rocking stuff. Wish I was there. First off, hey, Michael, I just want to appreciate what you were saying about that, about leaving that legacy. I just think that is so much bigger than just a financial goal. And I think that is just long-term and something other people can look up to and strive. So I really do appreciate that. I want to be real quick. I started something last night that I thought was going to be pretty good. And I think I'm going to be able to work it and run with it and milk it for the next 30 days easy, just off of one Facebook thread. And I'll tell you that in a second. First of all, what I wanted to do is I wanted to make a big splash with my audience. I've been on Facebook for probably 6 years now, for a long time, come and go. I've never hit that 5,000 limit because I kept a lot of people at bay because I didn't want to hit it. So I would trim people off left and right. And so I would always leave room for new people coming in. I just wanted to be open to that. So what I wanted to do now, since LT and the team and everybody's focusing on Facebook and we're driving home that one strategy, I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a super huge splash with the audience I have and start re-engaging rapidly with people. And I want to start adding 5 qualified people a day. And then in the next 30 to 90 days, my Facebook is going to look 100% different than it does now. So I wanted 3 things. I wanted to clean house, but in a positive way. Have you guys ever seen those messages where somebody comes on and says, hey, if you don't like my status, I want to remove you as a friend? Well, that's like has a negative tone to it. So I wanted to flip that script and come at it with a positive aspect. The second thing I wanted to do was engage with the current people I have by opening that opportunity. If you go and reach people, if you have a list of 1,000 or 2,000 or 4,000 people, and you're trying to hunt and find people that you currently have, you have no idea if they're on or if they've been on for a week or a year or a month or whatever. And I am going to be commenting on following LT's birthday method. I used to do that, and then I kind of got away from it. It's a great way to kind of keep going with that process of cleaning house, so to speak. But I wanted to find who was on now. I wanted to attract people to me because I wanted to be a little bit chased, not chasing people, right? And the third thing, I wanted to gamify this. Now, let me show my screen real quick so I can show you guys what I got. Okay, can you see my screen okay?
Not yet, not yet. And now we're good.
Okay. All right, cool. So it's just my profile. I'll be real quick with this. Did a video this morning, but here's what I did last night. 22 hours ago, I sent this message and I had over 94 people like it. And I think I can't see it too much, but I have 107 comments so far. And it's super simple. I said, I'm doing some Facebook spring cleaning. If we've connected and have not chatted a bit, just say, hey, right? So I found somebody who had did that just a minute, just like 2 or 3 minutes earlier yesterday. And I'm like, but let me twist this up a little bit, right? And I said, and then I went and I kind of knocked down all those other people who did this negatively, right? So I said, no, this isn't a if you stop by, I'm going to unfriend you type of message. I never cared for those. So I'm already separating myself from everybody who's done those last year and the year before and all that. I said, I am, however, so here's a little bit of a, a little comma, however, but I'm going to remove some old connections that are no longer active, relevant or relevant or positive in nature. Right now in the US, we have a ton of people throwing that political stuff all over the place. I'm like, I want my news feed, if I look at it, I'm trying to follow LT here, not trying to look at it too much. I at least want to see people I want to connect with. And then I gamified it by taking this, and I'm starting every week with $50. Every week I'm putting in from my, not advertising budget yet, but I'm going to start outsourcing again like I used to. I'm going to take it and apply to other things. I threw this out there as a gamified situation. I said, opening the door to new connections and friendships. The last one to comment gets a $50 gift card. Now, I saw a guy do this about 2 or 3 years ago, and that thread ran for probably about 3 or 4 months. I was tracking it. He had over 11,000 comments, people trying to be the last comment. Can you imagine what people are going to do for a $50 gift card? Now, here's my caveat. You don't need a $50 gift card. You can do this with just the first sentence or two that I said. It's all about posture, and it's all about trying to engage the people that you already have. And here's what it's already setting up. I already have 10 different conversations going with people in this thread. I had 6 new friend requests this morning just from other people who have seen this. Now, what I'm doing is I am actually replying to each individual person who's left a comment. I put it out there, and I want to make engagement. What I'm doing then is I'm taking a quick look at their profile, and I've already identified about 15 to 20 more people I really want to connect with. So see, I have people attracted to me, and I'm also I'm also looking for qualified people I can connect with because they're of the type of person, they're business owner, they're small business, or they're real estate or whatever, somebody I want to reach up to. So there's my deal. That's all I got to say.
So I've seen this one too. I didn't know it went that long, but guys, that will blow your mind. Because what he did was he opened this never-ending cycle of the last, and since he didn't have by end of this date, he can basically just do it whenever, and he can probably pay that out a year from now, right? I'm going to do a twist on that, and we'll see how that goes. And I would love to bounce some ideas off of that. So I'll do mine maybe tomorrow, because I think I posted too much today, but I'll do it tomorrow, and I'll bounce some ideas off of Jess. I was thinking maybe doing one you can only respond with memes or like your own photo. So I don't know. I'll play with that. I'll see the idea of that. But that's crazy engagement. So if you think about what Facebook wants, they want people to actually have a real conversation and comment, like, and even friend. Now, when Ken posts after this, he's going to show up way higher and more relevant and more frequently on all those people, the 100 likes already he already has on there, and all the comments that are keep rolling in. Very intelligent. I love it. This is what the mastermind is about. Guys, $50, that will go good for a couple months. That might get you 4,000 friends, maybe 3,000 friends, and keep rolling. It's a good investment to your business and building this audience building out. So that's gangster. That is gangster. So I'm going to bring out Brian to close it out. I know we're 2 minutes after. Brian from Singapore at the moment. Where's he at? Is he in the airplane bathroom? Oh, he is in the airplane bathroom. He told me to bring him out. Okay, so I'm going to close it out. I'm going to close it out. So number one, when you're doing this stuff with the audience building, be a real person. I do like, being not, the whole political thing is cool, but the more you shift on one side, you cut off the rest. Now, if that's the intention, very easy to do. I love Trump, everyone else. I hate Trump, everyone else. That's one way to prune. I don't recommend doing that, but if that's the way you want to do it, you can. But what you should be doing is definitely being the person someone would like you to be their sponsor, right? Right? So anything with hate, you probably don't want someone, why would you want to join someone who's hateful? You know what I mean? So what you can do is delete those posts from the past if it is a super one-sided piece of content, and just be kind of general, but focused on growth, focus on happiness, family, business, helping people, not just look at me, I'm great, look at me, like helping people. And tonight, immediate action takers, I want to see how many of you guys will be doing an Instagram live video. I'm going to do it right now, right after this hangout. So I'm going to stop the recording for everybody.